What's going on, guys? I'm SimpleSimon, and previously I was at the Akuna Park Market. In fact, I'm still kind of there. So I've just been to the Akuna Park Market and visited Secret HQ, and it was always a tradition every time we came down here. After Secret HQ, we'd go down to Pickers Retro Haven. So I've done a vlog there before. However, since my last visit, they've actually opened up an upstairs area. So there's a whole new area to check out. So it's always fun to visit retro, but I don't have a lot of money. I spent most of it at the market. So we'll go there and have a look and check out the new upstairs area. Let's go. Quick shout out to my Siminions. Your support means the world, and if you want exclusive members only videos and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more. But always remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos. Alright, so Pickers Retro Haven is only around a 1 kilometer drive from the Akuna Park Market, so if you're ever visiting the market, it is tradition to come to Pickers Retro Haven as well. Now, it'd been quite some time since I'd visited, so I was super excited. The great thing about these stores is, A, they're awesome to be in, but when you haven't visited for a long time, things change and new stuff arrives. One of these days, I'm going to own a Xenomorph head. Once I move into a place that's got enough space to display one, because they're huge. Got some Jesse Pinkman here from Breaking Bad. And I gotta say, there's always been a lot of collectibles at Pickers Retro Haven, but the force was strong. I felt like there was a lot of new stuff here since my last visit. So as I mentioned, the force was strong, and it really was. I did not plan that, by the way, guys. I said the force is strong, and all of a sudden all this Star Wars stuff came up just by chance. Or maybe I'm just getting really good at this. Now, recently I went to another shop kind of like this. I guess your kind of trash and treasure collectible store. And a lot of people mention that these places are often overpriced, and they couldn't be more wrong. Look, I'm sure it really depends on the seller, I think. But whoever sells these comics has some of the best prices on comic books in town. It is literally littered with just super cheap books, exclusive covers for under $20, first issue, back issues for just a few dollars. It's really unbelievable. Like this Harley Quinn cover I'd never seen before. It's an exclusive, and I learnt later that's called the Copper Tone cover. The Me You Love in the Dark, first issue. Fantastic Scotty Young book, $4 for the first issue. That is a solid deal. And I thought I struck gold here with the original issue of Tank Girl. For $26, it turns out it's actually a reprint, a 30th anniversary reprint from 2018. And now that I think about it, I should have bought it because I started collecting comic books in 2018. Maybe next time if it's still there. So this room I'm in here is actually filled with all kinds of different collectibles, from the Barbie dolls, as you can see, to vintage toys, to more modern stuff as well. It really is a good mix of stuff. You got some Pokemon there for the Pokemon crowd. Now, because I have been to this place quite a number of times now, I didn't want to focus too much on this bottom level. Go back and check out some of the previous videos where I visit Secret HQ and Pickers Retro Haven in the same day. But I really want to show you guys the upstairs, but we'll still do a lap around the bottom area and check out some stuff that I hadn't seen before. This room here is also littered with a whole bunch of assorted collectibles, but it is also their card room. Everything from Pokemon to Dragon Ball, as you can see. What are these Pokemon cards? They're not normal Pokemon cards. If you guys know what they are, let me know in the comments. They also got a whole bunch of Hot Wheels in here as well, and real specialized ones like the Marvel ones here. I do have a small Hot Wheels collection, but I really only collect the more specialized stuff, like mostly Batmobiles. I got some Transformer Hot Wheels as well. They also have a whole stack of retro video games in here as well. Check it out, I found a random Street Fighter 2 figure hanging out at the back here. Not too sure what that is, if it's one of them reissue G.I. Joes or if it's a Super 7 figure. I'm not too sure there. Got some more dolls, you got some Stranger Things posters. Is anyone excited about the new season, or has it just been too long? Now I got a shot of these Nerf blasters here. I didn't notice that giant spider until just now. I should have loaded up one of those Nerf blasters then blasted the crap out of that spider book. I hate spiders, by the way, guys. Like, spiders, yeah, we're not friends. When I see huntsmans, I sometimes scream. Anyway, oh, hey Barbie. This is where you say, hey Ken. And all you clothing thrifters, they had stuff for you too. Is that a Totoro jumper? I actually love this stall. There's actually a similar one at Hunted Antiques and Collectibles. It's just full of art prints and things, but there's some really, really cool stuff. I don't know what you call this. I don't know if it's pop art or what, but you'll find some really, really cool art inside of this stall here. And I happened to run into some SimpleSimon fans who wanted to take a photo with me. So, of course, I said yes. And there we are. Say keep it simple. I'm way too cool to smile. A few years ago, I probably would have definitely bought this Star Wars blaster here. It makes electronic blaster sounds. How good is that? Alright, so I didn't want to spend too much time filming downstairs. I actually filmed a lot of stuff downstairs, but I've already shown a lot of this stuff in previous videos here. This video is all about the new upstairs area, but there was still actually a lot of things downstairs that were new that I hadn't seen before, so I thought I'd share that with you first. You got some Christmas decorations here. And these were pretty cool. I thought it was records at first, but I think it's actually art prints there. Alright, so once you get to this section, you can either turn right and go back towards the front of the store where there's all kinds of good stuff, but I ended up turning left and I found this section which I'd never noticed before. You got a giant statue of that dude, and this was like a crazy haunted library. You know the bit in Ghostbusters where the ghost library lady is? Yeah, it reminded me of that. But I'd never seen this section, and they had a lot of cool stuff, including heavy metal magazines. How good's that cover? And Marilyn Monroe happened to be a superstar in this back area here. If you like Marilyn Monroe, you should definitely go visit this section in Pickers, because it was a Marilyn Monroe extravaganza. Look at that, you can get a Marilyn Monroe clock. This was another new thing that also had me very curious. Ruby Conchetta maybe, I'm not too sure, but this must be an artist, and she had her own little stall full of really, really cool things. There's some details about her there. Ruby Conchetta, I'm gonna go with Conchetta. Had this whole Alice in Wonderland kind of themed vibe there with the little bottles. Had the sign at the front that said we're all mad here. So yeah, I was very curious about this, and there's a lot of cool stuff to look at in here as well. And I'd never seen any of this stuff before, so it was a bonus. Alright, so then I started venturing back towards the front of the store, and just collectibles were just stopping me in every meter. There was something to look at. You got vintage cards there, basketball cups. You had my favorite. You got Predator statues. That thing's from Avatar, I think. You got more trading cards here. Is that Big Bang Theory trading cards? That's crazy. Plus a whole bunch of other ones that I never knew existed. And of course they had anime statues for all you anime fans. There was really so much. I was trying to make my way to the staircase to go up to the new level, but there was just too much stuff to look at down here. What the hell is that? That's not even a Lafufu. That is a Lawakfu. I'd never seen these Macca's cups either. They were Sanrio, I'm assuming Happy Meal cups, so that was pretty cool. And then we finally made it to the staircase. Oh, I'm super excited to go upstairs. Now, what I was expecting when I got up there was one room full of physical media. That was what I was expecting. And then I got to the top and I was like, holy crap, this is not a small little room. This upstairs area was massive and it was filled with cool stuff, like cool art on the walls there. They had these cabinets full of little toys. I really wasn't expecting this upstairs area to be what it was. It was amazing, and I stumbled across more comic books. Oh, just when I thought there wasn't enough comic books, there's more. And they even had old school Playboy mags. I thought I'd have a flick through the comic boxes. I knew I didn't want to spend too much, and then I found the Star Wars section. I was like, ooh, old Star Wars. And just a spoiler alert, I already had a big pile of books that I'd found in the other room downstairs, and I was like, oh my god, I better not find any of the old Star Wars books that I want. So yeah, here's a nice panning shot of what this upstairs area was like, and I don't know if you can see the back there, but it actually bends around the corner as well. So yeah, there is a lot to see in this upstairs area, so buckle up. Pretty much any type of collectible you could think of they had, from shoes to clothing to sports memorabilia. I always love to tell people, you know, when they go to a place like this for the first time, oh, I wish I could go to that place again for the first time. Being in this upstairs area really felt like I was here for the first time. It was so exciting. And when I mentioned before that I was kind of expecting it all just to be physical media up here, I wasn't too far off. So there is that area downstairs that's full of clothing now, but it actually used to be all these VHS tapes and vinyl and things like that. So I assume that area moved upstairs. Hey, more Marilyn Monroe. So yeah, I wasn't too far off with my prediction, but this space was a whole lot bigger than I expected, so they could obviously fit a whole lot more than just their physical media, tapes and records. Check out this room here with all these legends on the wall, music icons, including this awesome Lemmy one in the back corner there. I can't believe I didn't get a close-up of that Lemmy one. Now, I saw this vinyl, right? So see that teddy bear there? That was from Myers back in the day. I had that when I was a kid. And the little baby one there, that was my favorite soft toy. And I actually saw the bear with the beanie when I was at Waverley Antique Bazaar. So yeah, that teddy bear brings back a lot of memories, and I never knew they made a vinyl of it. What's on there? But yeah, if you're a vinyl collector, you would have a field day in this upstairs area at Pickers, and you know a place is serious about vinyl when they sell replacement styluses. You know how hard that is to walk into a shop and find replacement styluses. Alright, so then I continued and ventured further into this upstairs area, and I found the old electronic section, which also had guitars and other instruments as well. So if you're a muso, you can buy your favorite record and then buy a sweet guitar for your next gig. Alright, ready to test my hashtag footy guy knowledge? That is Paul Salmon, I think, who used to play for Essendon and then he went to Hawthorn. There's Luke Hodge. I've won money on him twice when I bet on him to win the Norm Smith medal. How good is that? See, I think people don't believe that I used to follow footy, you know, because I don't follow it now. People will be like, why don't you follow it now? You know, you must have been a casual back then too. No, I was really into footy back in the day. I really don't have time to follow sports anymore, unless it's two people trying to punch each other's heads off. So anyway, that was a quick upstairs tour for you guys who have never been to the upstairs area. Here's my reaction. Boom! Oh, what was that in my hand? Stick around to find out, because we're about to finish up with my haul. Alright, so that was Pickers Retro Haven. I'm out in Doncaster now. I did do a marketplace deal just then, which is, I love marketplace. It's like you're doing something dodgy in the car park. Alright, So, oh my God. Pickers today was amazing. Obviously it's been a while, so there was, you know, a fair few new things that haven't been there previously, but my goodness. So obviously I went to Kuna Market first this morning and then I went to Pickers. And by the time I went to Pickers, I was like, I can't spend money today. Like I just don't have the money. But man, I flicked through those comic books and my goodness, I spent, I'm not even gonna say the number. Pretty much what I didn't spend at Monster Size Toy Fair, I still had that cash in my wallet. So I spent pretty much all of it. Oh my God. So I didn't even like, yeah, this was bad. I only flicked through half of that comic table and there was, yeah, so like last time, there were all these exclusive covers there, which you just can't get, right? You don't find them in Australia and the prices are fantastic. And then I also picked up a big book. You know, not a crazy big book, but a decently big book. So let me show you the exclusive covers first. So a bunch of these are going to be for myself and a bunch of these I might put aside in the giveaway pile or something like that. Here's Zatanna, Bring the House Down. And I'm pretty certain these are all exclusive because I'm not familiar with these covers. That's a Carla Cohen cover. For old school SimpleSimon fans will know I'm a huge Carla Cohen fan. For those, I guess, who don't know comic books very well, an exclusive comic book is basically like an exclusive cover. It's normally exclusive to a certain online store or something like that. They're normally only in the US. So usually like a regular price would normally be, you know, $40 minimum is what people would normally charge for them when they bring them over here. These are $16.50. Nathan Zerdy Harley Quinn cover there. Now the problem with these was there were so many of these Harley Quinn covers that then had a Poison Ivy version as well, and I was like, oh, I can't not get both, right? Those Zerdy ones I'm going to keep. Last time I bought some Zerdy ones as well. Some of these though, like I said, I'll put away in my giveaway pile. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 1. I don't know if it's a regular cover or not. This is not a book that I kind of wanted, but that's a cool cover. It may be exclusive. I'm not actually too sure in this one. Only thing I would say about this, the person who sells these books is the prices are all over the place. So you'll find like the same cover sometimes and two of them, multiples, and they'll be different prices. These ones I hadn't seen either. I actually don't know who did these covers, and I wasn't going to pick it up originally, but then I thought, oh, you know what, that's one for the Harley box there. And then of course that had a Poison Ivy variant. Sorry if the sun's right in the worst spot in the world right now from me filming this. And then they even had a Selena Kyle variant as well. So the sun kind of suits on that cover. Look, here's another Zerdy one. So that one there, nice road cover. Nathan Zerdy, he's getting very popular now. This one's another Zerdy. This one here, I love. This one here, this one here is definitely going in my collection. An homage to Batman Adventures 12. That's very cool. This one here will probably go on the giveaway pile, I would say. I actually picked up one of these last time, but for $10.50, again, for an exclusive cover, for $10.50, this is probably not going to show up very well. There's another Carla Cohen Wonder Woman, but that's a nice foiler cover. That was $22.50, still a solid price. This one's definitely not for me, but I'm sure people will like this. This is a J. Scott Campbell Rogue Savage Lands cover. Again, I don't know if this is actually just a standard variant of an exclusive, but people love the J. Scott Campbell. I'm not so much into him these days, but yeah, so that may go into the giveaway pile, who knows. This one is definitely going to the giveaway pile. This is the same as that cover before, the Poison Ivy one, but it's in foil. This one was a $20 book. This one I'm actually going to put in my 4,000 subscriber giveaway. The other ones I'll hold on to and just see. That's all the exclusive variants. I'm sure the lady at the shop was probably like, you dirty perv, all these girly books. Oh, I also bought this little pin for Sarah. I bought it from that little Alice in Wonderland, well, not Alice in Wonderland, but you know, the artist shop. So there's a little ghost hug there. I thought I'd give her that just in case she finds out how much I spent today. All right, but that's not it. That's not it. This is the big book, right? This is what I definitely didn't expect to be walking out with. So when I went upstairs, I was like, oh, I'll just quickly do upstairs. I thought upstairs, this new upstairs area that I hadn't seen yet, I thought it was going to be like, one little small room. Like you go upstairs and there's like one little small room in there, right? And it was all going to be records. That's what I thought. And as soon as I walked up there was those shelves with the cabinets, with like, you know, collectible figures and stuff. And then I saw those short boxes. And the short boxes, I could just see Phantom. It was just Phantom. I was like, I'm not going to bother going through these. And thank God I was flicking through for the video just to have a glance. I was like, oh, there's all this sci-fi stuff. And then I saw the Star Wars stuff. So I had to flick through that Star Wars stuff thinking, oh, you know, I'm after the last issue of Star Wars. Maybe they've got it here at a good price. They didn't have that book, but they did have Star Wars issue 42, which is the first appearance of Boba Fett. $88. I'd already well overspent, but this is definitely a key issue that I would like to have in my collection. Yeah, I didn't expect to be walking out of this place today with a key like that. $88 is a pretty good price on this book. I remember a few years ago when the show came out, this was like a $200+ book. Crazy, right? But yeah, glad to have that in the collection. Ooh, do I put that in the Star Wars box or the keys box? I'll probably put it in the Star Wars box. But yeah, that was I'd like to say a great day out, but I spent a lot of money there. Yeah, whatever. I got some good stuff there. So for comic book collectors, I highly recommend going there. They definitely top up their stock, the guy who owns that table too. I really want to know who it is because the prices are really good. Like a lot of the other back issue, the standard books, they're like $3, $4 and things like that. You'll find books that are fairly modern and new for like, you know, $6, $7, like cheaper than they came out at shops. So yeah, very curious how it all works and who's selling those books. But comic book sellers, definitely check it out. But in general, if you've never been there, there were so many people in there, I could overhear them talking like they'd never been there before. And they were all like amazed. There were these young group of girls there and they're like, whoa, this place like never ends. It's so cool. And yeah, it is really cool. I love places like that. I'm going to not visit for a while though, because this seems to happen every single time. But I guess the amount I spent makes up for all the time that since I went there last. So all the details for the shop will be in the description, the address. I'll have the socials and the website. So if you want to visit, definitely go check it out. And yeah, that's it for this one. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more places and things, events that I go to, check out the playlist that's in the description to all my vlogs. And in case you didn't know, I drop my new vlogs every Wednesday at 9 p.m. and sometimes even on Monday because I've got so many vlogs backed up. By the time you see this, it probably would have been like a month since I filmed it. But yeah, if you guys have made it this long in the video, I appreciate you. And until next time, I'm SimpleSimon. Tell your friends and keep it simple. Oh wait, also the marketplace pickup. I picked up this. Check it out. I got myself a Hot Wheels. I said I was going to stop collecting Hot Wheels because I don't have space for them. They were literally all sitting in a box, but I picked up the Bumblebee one recently and I really wanted this Optimus Prime one. $5 on marketplace, baby. Yes. Very happy with that. So yeah, shout out to Eric, I think the seller's name was, on Facebook Marketplace.